Hey friends, welcome showing you how to make these mini beanie ornaments. I did a poll in my stories a couple of days ago and you guys voted for a beanie. So I'm going to just show you a quick tutorial for how to make these cute beanie ornaments. You can use a little bit of ribbon to hang them, or you can use twine. It's up to you how you want to do it. So let's get started. I'm just gonna put twine on this one. Quick, just show you how it looks. I love how it looks with the twine. I think it's super cute. So this is a pattern, a Tunisian crochet free pattern, my last one of the year. And I just wanted to show you guys how to make it. It's for a knit like crochet mini beanie, and the best part is you can use a regular crochet hook. So I'm using my LAUREL streamlined wood hook from FURLS, size K, 6.5 mm, and pretty much any worsted weight yarn you have in your stash will do. I use some big twist, Twinkle, I think it's called. I got it last year, I believe, for the main color, and then my contrasting ribbing section will be with CARON Simply Soft Tweed and Off-White. And I did another one. I'm going to show you with the worsted weight because most people will have worsted weight freely available to them. But I also did make it with the Lion Brand Hue and Me that I've been obsessed with. This is in the agave color. It's super cute. So let's get started. I am going to grab my big twist yarn. So for this, you're going to need the worsted weight, a size K 6.5 mm hook, a yarn needle, scissors, and either twine or ribbon, depending on how you want to hang it up. So let's get started. I'm going to show you quickly how to make it. Right. So we're going to take our main color worsted weight, whether you're using red or green or, whichever color, and we are going to do our chain. So we're going to chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we did 8 chains. We're going to turn it around and pick up a loop into each of the chains. So 1, 2, and remember that we do not count the first loop on the hook as a working stitch. We're never going to work into that. But that counts as our first stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we've picked up 8 stitches, and then we are going to do our normal return pass. So chain 1, pull through 2, pull through 2 all the way across. And for this beanie, we are working with the Tunisian knit stitch, which is super easy. Basically what you're doing is you're going to go in and go put your hook through to the back here. Instead of working into the front of the vertical bar, you're going to go to the back of the vertical bar, pick up a loop, and that's your knit stitch. And we're going to do that across. Going to do all the way across and then work our last stitch as normal under both loops like we usually do, and then we do a return pass again. Right, and then we are going to do one more row of just knit stitch across, and work our last stitch as normal. Then we'll do a return pass again, and now we are going to decrease on the ends. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So we are going to just go through both loops and we're gonna knit stitch 2 together. So we're gonna go through both and just pull up a loop. So I have a separate tutorial for Tunisian simple stitch 2 together, which is pretty much the same thing, except here, since we're doing the knit stitch, we're doing knitting 2 together. But you can watch that tutorial, link it above, click the I and go watch that if you're a little bit confused and want to see it a little bit slower. So I did Tunisian knit stitch 2 together, and then we're going to just work a knit stitch into the next 2 stitches, and then we are going to knit 2 together here again, and then we're going to work into the last stitch, and now we should have 6 loops on our hook, so we have 6 stitches. Then we're going to do our normal return pass and then we are going to work another row of Tunisian knit stitch across, and then just do normal return pass. And now we are going to knit stitch 2 together again here and pull up a loop, and then knit stitch into, oh, actually we're just going to do 2. Okay, let me show you this row again. So now in this row, what we're going to do is we are going to knit stitch 2 together twice, because we have 4 stitches in the middle here. So we are just going to knit stitch 2 together here, knit stitch 2 together here, then work into the last stitch. All right, then we're just going to do our normal return pass all the way across. You can see the shape of the beanie is forming, and then we're just going to work another 2 rows of Tunisian knit stitch across. So this is our first row, and then we are going to do our normal return pass, and then again we are going to do a knit across, Tunisian knit stitch across row, and then work our return pass. All right, now what we're gonna do is we are gonna increase, kind of looks like a Santa hat. You know, you could turn this into a Santa hat very easily by continuing to decrease over here, but we're not doing that. We're making a beanie. So we're just gonna, so I've done 3 rows of knit stitch across, so now we are going to increase. We're going to increase by just doing a knit stitch in between the spaces and in between the vertical bar spaces. So we are going to just pick up a loop in between here, and then we are going to knit. And I have a separate tutorial for increasing as well that you can watch, so I'll link that above if you want to take a closer look. So I've added 1 stitch here, then I worked a knit stitch, then I'm going to work another knit stitch, and then I'm going to add 1 more here by going through the space here and picking up a loop. So now we should have, we're back to 6 stitches, return pass, so we're doing our return pass here, and then we are going to do another row of knit stitch across, but remember to work through your new stitches that you've added. So we're going to do knit stitch across, and then we're just going to do a return pass, and then let's do 1 more of the Tunisian knit stitch across, and then our normal return pass, and then what we're going to do is we're going to increase to our original stitch count, which was 8. So we are going to pick up another loop in between the spaces here, work knit stitch all the way across until we get to the last until we get to the last stitch, but before we work into the last stitch, we are going to pick up a loop here. And so now we should have 8 stitches again. So we are back at 8 stitches, and then we are just going to do our normal return pass chain, and then work through the 2 loops all the way across, pull through 2 loops all the way across. All right, so now just fold it over and see, okay, so it's not quite exact yet. This construction is super easy, and this is, I love doing this. I've done it once before in one of my other patterns, but basically you're just flipping it over, and you're gonna, I think in the ghost tutorial, Tunisian ghost pattern that I have, that's also a tutorial on here. If you want to check it out, I can link to it. Anyways, we're back at 8. We will work another row of Tunisian knit stitch across. And work into the last stitch here, and then we're just going to do our normal return pass here. Okay, so we've worked a normal return pass all the way across, and I think we can do one more row of our knit stitch across. I always just like to line it up to see how it's looking. And just do knit stitch across, do our normal return pass. Okay, and then we are going to, I think this is good. So now what we're going to do is we are just binding off. And so the way we bind off is we're just going to go through, and so when we bind off, what we're doing is we're going to the next vertical bar, pulling up a loop, and then pulling through our previous loop. So this is how we bind off. So I'm just going to go across and bind off. I have another tutorial for that as well, which I can link to if you want to check it out. So I'm just pulling through loops all the way across. Oops. And remember, this last stitch is tricky. You want to go under both loops, and then there we go. We're just binding off, and now we want to leave a long enough tail that will allow us to sew around. So I am just going to, leave like a, probably like a, 24-inch tail. That's still pretty long. Probably get away with 18 inches, maybe an 18-inch tail. And then basically what we're gonna do is, you don't even need to weave this other end in because it's gonna go right inside. That's what I love about this style of constructing things, because you can just literally tuck them in like amigurumi. So, all right, now we're gonna fold it over, and we're just gonna sew around. And I'll show you how I'm gonna sew around. So I've just folded it over on itself this way, and then we're just gonna start at the corner here, and we're just gonna go through both of the V's along the edges here and whip stitch. So it's just a simple whip stitch around, but it's a little tricky because when you get to the top, you don't want to sew at the top. You're just gonna pull the yarn over to the other side, and I'll show you what I mean by that. It's kind of weird when I say it, but so we're just whip stitching around. Okay, whip stitch all the way around, and then just like to do the top a little bit, and then basically you're just going through, you're putting your needle through the inside, and you're going to pull your yarn to the other side, and then we are going to whip stitch this side now. So this can get a little tricky, so okay, so we're just gonna make sure we're going through both loops here. So you're going through both set of V's, okay, and just keep whip stitching around. So there's the V here, and then there's the other V here. Just gonna pull through both of those, and it's a super cute mini beanie, and honestly it can be applied to so many different celebrations. It doesn't just have to be Christmas. If you make it in a specific you know, if you make it in like gender neutral colors or gender specific colors, if that's your thing, you could use it for a baby shower decoration. It would be so cute. So I'm just whip stitching, sorry, all the way around, and there we go. And then you can even whip stitch along the edge, but I didn't do that at the bottom. I'm just gonna take my yarn needle off, and then I'm gonna grab some of my contrasting worsted weight yarn, and we are gonna work single crochets into the bottom here. It's super simple. This is the last part. I'm gonna grab my hook, and sorry, it's a little messy here in the background. So I'm just gonna take this, oops. Yeah. So I'm gonna take my hook and just put it through, and I'm gonna grab some of my white yarn and make sure the right side, whichever one you feel like is neater and you want it to be the right side, just make sure that it is the one facing you when you're doing your single crochets, just because it'll look better this way. So we are just going to work single crochets into with the right side facing you, whichever one you want to be the right side. It's the same on both sides, so it doesn't really matter, but if you prefer a side. So basically turn it towards you, and the beanie is upside down like this, and you're just gonna slip stitch into the corner here first. So we're gonna do a bunch of double crochets along the edge here. So we have this and this. Make sure you're aligning them, and you're going under both V's like so, and then going through. Oops, I want to do a double crochet, so just gonna go through and yarn over, and then we're just gonna go through, do double crochets all the way around along the edge, not around, but along the edge here, so that it's nice and neat. And just make sure you're going through everything here. Okay. Okay, and then this double crochet, and there we go, and there's our little beanie, and we're just gonna leave a bit of a tail, like maybe 6 inches, and cut the yarn, and then we are gonna weave in the rest of these loose ends into the beanie, and we will be done. Then we can attach our string for hanging, and that's it. Super simple. It just took us literally, I think, to make, so it would be really cute project for even little ones to do in the holidays. Let's see if Bubs is interested. He might be able to make one. So I'm just gonna cut that And then I'm gonna just, here's our little cute beanie. So excited, I love it. So we can attach some twine, or if you want, you can attach, if you want to be festive, you can attach some ribbon. Maybe I'll add ribbon to this one. So just put it on your yarn needle and sew it through. These are so cute. Love how they turned out. Super simple, and it's a great way to practice your Tunisian crochet skill. If that's something you've been interested in for the new year, you might also want to check out my simple Tunisian washcloth kit that I have available in my Etsy shop. So yeah, I'll link it in the description just in case you're interested. And that's it. Here's our little beanie. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. I'm gonna link to everything in the description. And yep, I hope you guys have fun making this and practicing your Tunisian skills. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you. Thanks for watching.